Bend the knee. Valamogolis, everybody. It's Don Willie back again with another edition of Ice and Fire Opinions. And as you can see, I am talking today about the Lion of Lannister, the Golden Lion, or, I forget what nicknames they give him, but either way, Tywin Lannister. One of my favorite characters in the series, if you did not know. Shout out to everyone who is in the chat room right now. And, hopefully, I just bought a couple of new things, so I should be streaming 1080 or at least 720p right now. All good quality. So let's run through the chat real quick. See who we got in here. Yeah, Cardinal Doomsday. What's poppin'? It's my man from all the way in New Zealand, I believe. It's New Zealand. Alicia Kingston, Lord Commander of I'm not sure what you guys are calling yourselves these days. I think it's not the Not So Silent Sisters anymore, but we'll talk on Sunday. Ion Throne, the greatest when it comes to Twitter promotion. Frank Stanford, what's good? Man, Big E. Alright. Sean Land. One True David Adams. What's really good, my man? We gotta talk. Alright, and I'm pretty sure that's my man Frank from Way Off Topic Radio. Hail Hydra. Also, Hail Salt. The Salt King up in there is right here. Okay. Hopefully, it is Australia. Alright. Hopefully everyone can hear me very well, because unfortunately, when I do this stuff, I actually cannot hear myself when I'm doing it. So, just let me know in the chat room real quick if you guys can hear me okay before I continue. And it's funny because it's a funny thing because I've been experimenting with a few different microphones. It seems no matter what I do, I can't get the damn hum out. I can't get the damn hiss out. So for anybody who's watching who's like, oh, this dude's audio is just all kinds of fucked up. I got a Blue Yeti. I got a damn Blue Snowball. I got another Samson mic. So I don't know what the deal is, man. And the funny thing about it is I actually went to school for audio engineering, so I should know how to fix this, but they didn't teach us shit about live streaming. Wasn't no such thing as YouTube when I went to school for that. Oh shit, smoke screen in the building. Also, my man Don the Kraken Wit, Hype Swatch in the building. You know what it is. Alright. Alright, so let's talk about Tywin. Everyone's not so favorite dad in the story. Now, for those of you who do not know, who have not hung out with me before, I'm not the biggest fan of some of your favorite characters. I actually like a lot of what people would call to be the villains. And not for the despicable things that they do, but I like them personally more so for their drive and ambition and the fact that they don't take no shit. And that is why I like Tywin Lannister. So, let's go back to Tywin's history. So, you had Tywin's father, whose name escapes me right now, and it doesn't matter because Tywin's pops was a clown. His bannermen used to ask him for money, as a loan, and then whenever it came time to repay him, you're like, yeah, right. Oh, yeah. We are not paying you back. Oh, shout out to Alicia Kingston. Titos. Yeah, who the fuck cares? Tytos was a clown. Um, they used to call him the Laughing Lion because he basically, whenever people would make jokes about him, he would laugh along with the jokes. I'm like, dog, nah, man. You listen. If you want people to respect you, you're not gonna gain that respect by allowing them to disrespect you. And I guess that that really didn't matter much to him. So it is what it is on that. But you know, the thing about it is when Tywin saw what was happening, he actually decided, you know what, I don't want things to go down like this. I don't want my house to be known as being a bunch of people that just get played like this. You got to think about it, right? His house is the great house in the Westerlands. The great house. This means the only people who are above you at this time are the Targaryens. Before the Targaryens came around, the Lannisters were kings of the Westerlands, right? So, it's one of those things where Tywin thinking about that legacy and thinking, all right, I'm only one step removed from the crown. I can't let the people who are below me, who basically are supposed to be answering to me, I can't let them, come through and play me. Right? So, when Tywin gets in his mid-teens, he decides, you know what? I'm gonna go now and I'm going to collect on some of these debts that are owed to my family. And when he goes around collecting, some of the people are like, yo, man, nah. Listen, you are not your father. Your father is the Lord of Casterly Rock, not you. You're some punk ass kid. You're not coming through and just running shit. All right. So he decides he's gonna, start hemming up some bannermen. He actually kidnaps a few of the Tarbecks, and Tarbecks kidnap a few of his people. And then when they come, when it's time for negotiations, where Tywin is like, no, I'm not trying to negotiate on this level. His pops is like, no, just hand back, man, but just hand back. So, yeah, Tywin decided, listen, man, I'm not having the fuck shit. You will not come in here and ruining my name. Pops, sit your ass down and let your boy handle this. And so that's what he did. Tywin went around and decided, yo, you know what? Cool. We are coming through, boxing gloves. He got his Rocky Balboa on and decided, metaphorically speaking, to start boxing up some of his bannermen. So the Tarbecks of Tarbeck Hall, when they decided that they really wanted to break bad on them, it was like, all right, you gotta die. You all must die. So killed all of them, put the castle to the torch. I believe even killed like the vassals and all other kinds of shit. That was crazy. And shout out to also, in the building, AU Pack Mule and Gray Area. What's going on? Can't wait to see you two tomorrow night. But it was one of those things where he was like, look, man, I'm not gonna have you guys, think that you could play me. You guys are wiped off the map. And then after that, he decides to go for the reins of Castamere. And, it was crazy, like, because you hear about the reigns of Castamere in terms of like in the show and in the books, right? So when you look at the show, you hear the song, and I'll be honest with you, right? Like the first time, like you hear the song, but you don't really think about it too much. Okay, it's the Lannister song. You know that like supposedly Tywin did some fucked up shit to him. The first time I actually really paid attention to where I was like, oh, this means something. The Red Wedding. Because I remember, like they closed the doors and then you just hear and I was like, something's wrong here. Something is very, very wrong here. What the hell is going on? So I was just like, wow, okay. I mean, but the look on Catelyn's face, right? It's just one of those things where you're sitting there like, hold up, hold up, hold up. Like she knows something crazy is about to go down. Like Rob never even paid enough attention to realize that shit was about to get super ugly for him. And like then going back, because I watched the show before I started on the book, so going back to that chapter, especially when they're playing the all the instruments, and Catelyn is just saying how horrible music players these guys are. It's like, oh, you guys pretty much suck when it comes to being musicians, until it gets to the Reigns of Castamere. And the fact that the Reigns of Castamere is the thing that they get, it's like, and the thing about it is, I don't know if that they got it right, to it was like, oh, it was some beautiful rendition, but the thing about it is, it was recognizable enough that it was like, oh, hold on here, what the hell is going on? And going through that Catelyn chapter, I mean, listen, you guys know how I feel about Catelyn, and if you don't, fuck Catelyn. Alright, so there, I said it again for the 50 millionth time. But it's one of those things where I was like, alright, yeah, the Lannisters do not play around. And then going back and seeing like how they decided to do it in terms of when you get the foreshadowing of Tywin writing the letters, right? Now, come on, think about it. This is a guy here who could have, if he wanted to, because he had already beaten Stannis at this point. No one's thinking about Stannis Baratheon. The only thing that he needs to worry about currently is Robb Stark. And instead of doing the thing that most people would have expected him to do, which is gather up the Lannister army, and at that point also the Tyrell army, because they had made the deal with the Tyrells. Instead of doing that and deciding, all right, I'm marching my ass into the Riverlands, he was like, nah, you know what? I'll let the River Lords take care of him, especially the one River Lord who really wants to get his revenge, and that is Walder Frey. So, in terms of a brilliant chess move, you don't get too many better moves than that. You really don't. And it's one of those things where I think people kind of underestimate the fact that he was like, oh, you know what? I don't need to show force to show force. I can do this all without having it to be some big to do where it's all right. I'm running up to the gates and thumping my chest, and we're killing everybody in the field. No. I'm not doing all that. I don't need to, and not only that, he was able to destroy the phrase reputation, and also not destroy his reputation in the process, because anyone who, who's everyone, knows what the phrase did, but do they know it was at the behest of Tywin Lannister? And that's the thing you got to think about. Because, yes, they know the phrase killed off the Starks and their bannermen at a wedding after giving them guest right. But do they know it was at the behest of Tywin Lannister? And I think that most people are like, nope, Walder Frey is just a treacherous bastard. This is all on Walder Frey. So, hey man, I gotta give it to Tywin because brilliant, brilliant move on his part. I don't think you get much more. I don't think you get much more brilliant than that. Like how could you? How could you at all? So, you know, um, if we think about also, other things that he's done throughout the story, and things that if you were in his position, would you have done him? Now, let's go back to the Rings of Castamere. So, for those of you who don't know, there is a full description, or at least as much as we can get of a description from a maester in the world of Ice and Fire of the situation with the Rings of Castamere. So, excuse me, I'll give you the abridged version. Basically, Castamere, the actual castle, was kind of built and dug out of a mine, right? So it's one of those things where where he decided, okay, since they have a subterranean kind of dwelling, I'm gonna box them in and flood the place. So there was a nearby river or stream or whatever that he decided, like, we're gonna divert this to the front of the castle, and then the back of the castle he posted guards and then actually had it collapsed in, and he had it filled up basically, so anyone who was inside that castle drowned, and anybody who happened to think about making it out got killed as well. And yep, man, like that was probably a very horrible way for all of those people to die. Um, but that cemented Tywin's, you know, Tywin's reputation as being absolutely ruthless. And so, do you really think that anybody is like, all right, well, yeah, we already know that Tywin is on this crazy, super ruthless shit. Let's go and decide that uh, we're gonna still test him anyway. If you notice, other than the War of the Five Kings, was nobody trying to go head to head with Tywin Lannister? Nobody. You know, even when Ned decided, okay, because Gregor Clegane is Tywin's banner man, I'm gonna send out some riders to go and get the mountain. He was like, yeah, okay. He called Tywin Lannister and was like, oh, like he sent the Raven to Tywin, like, oh, you gotta show up within a fortnight to be granted an enemy of the crown. But Ned was not trying to get off his ass and be like, all right, we're marching to Castle Rock. He wasn't doing it because even Ned knew, yo, that man is not to be played with. Now, with all the things that I've said about the characteristics that I admire in terms of him protecting his family reputation and whatever may have you, I still have to also, like, I can't just say, okay, cool, Tywin all good, end of story, nothing bad ever, Tywin never did anything wrong. Nah, can't do that. Now, what I do find absolutely horrible and deplorable, etc., is the fact that he practically tortured Tyrion in emotionally and psychologically for pretty much all of his life. Now, he was married to his cousin Joanna, and listen, that's what nobles did or whatever, even in real life. Okay, I'm not even gonna talk about that. But him being married to her, that was like one of the big things that he really loved about life. Um, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, this is like between him marrying Joanna and then also having Jamie. Um, yeah, it was like those are the two big things. Those are the two highlights of his life. I mean, well, not Jamie, not only Jamie, but Cersei and Jamie. He had the Golden Twins. He had his wife. He was the hand of the king. He was one of the most respected men in all of the Seven Kingdoms, and people liked him even better than the king. Like, life is good. And then it all comes crashing down with Tyrion. Tyrion is a dwarf. There's rumors that he might be Aerys Targaryen's son. His wife dies in childbirth, and the man who is not only the king but used to be his best friend, um, kind of clowned him over it. Like, look, man, your wife died and left you with left you with this punk kid, this dwarf. Ah ha 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 ha. You gotta raise a dwarf. You're the proud lion, and look at your cub. Um, yeah. So for a man with Tywin's sense of pride, that hurt him. And then to add insult to injury, later on when he's like, hey, want to make a match with our houses? I got Cersei, you got Rhaegar. What's good? Ares is like, pretty much. So yeah, man. Man, oh man, oh man. It's kind of ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to now he's got this dwarf of a son who, you know, to a certain extent, not only is he having to deal with all of the emotional baggage that comes with what happened to him, but he's taking that out on Tyrion because it's like, all right, Cersei and Jamie are still Cersei and Jamie. Um, but Tyrion again, his wife died in childbirth. People are saying that might be Aerys Targaryen's son, and Tyrion, it kind of a goofball to a certain extent, I guess you would say. So, so with all of that now he's thinking to himself, okay, how long, like, do I really have to put up with this? He's like, no, I'm Tywin Lannister. I don't have to put up with this. But unfortunately, he made Tyrion's life a living hell. When Tyrion wanted a job, he gave him, he made him like in charge of the fucking sewer system. I'm like, really? Sewer system? Okay, whatever. Um, and then when it came to the whole thing about him marrying Tysha, now that is possibly the most foul thing that anyone can do to a person. To to have his older brother, who he really looked up to, lie to him, tell him, "Oh yeah, your wife was a whore," and I set this whole thing up just to. I set this whole thing up, to make you feel better. And then, like, yeah, I had a whole whole garrison of dudes rape this woman and give her a silver coin, and then force you to rape her as well, and then like, oh yeah, give her a golden coin because the Lannister is worth more. Like, that is wow. I'm sorry, I'm speechless. Just thinking about that, like that's yeah, that's high level fuckery right there. Like, yo, like I wow. Yeah, that's high level fuckery. Um, and he deserved to die for that. Make no mistake. Just because I like the fact that he was ruthless about protecting his reputation and his family, um, for what he did to Tyrion, he deserved to die. He definitely deserved to die. For what happened with the Red Wedding, no, he didn't deserve to die only because they're in war, and it's there kind of are no rules in war to a certain extent. Not always, but to the extent of you know uh, um doing what you got to do to win. There's no rules to say, okay, the only way you're allowed to win is big army versus big army, or one man versus another man. Tywin wrote his own rules when it came to that. I mean, what he did to the Rains of Castamere, and what he did to the Tarbecks. I mean, like, that wasn't really part of the regular rules. Nah, he wrote his own rules, but yeah, for what he did to Tyrion, he absolutely deserved to die. And if he burns in all seven hells, it's all good. But again, I know this is kind of crazy because I'm trashing him right now. But again, like I said, I do admire his tenacity. I admire his willingness to do whatever for the family, but ultimately, um, he was a bit of an asshole. And look, even if I were Jamie, let's say Tyrion had never been born, um, I don't know that I would have wanted him for my father. You know, um, or maybe if Tyrion hadn't been born and Joanna hadn't died, maybe I would have wanted him for my father if he would have went. If his whole thing were just about making sure that I had my rights, etc., etc. But I think that if Tywin, if you actually had a man like Tywin in today's world, um, he probably he probably would be a very powerful either industry titan. He'd be a billionaire most likely, or he would be a senator or maybe even president. And fuck around, Tywin would probably get the Constitution changed to be president for life. I'm just saying, you know. But alright, enough of me rambling about Tywin. Let's take it to the chat. Hear what you folks have to say. If you got any questions, make sure to put them in the chat, and let's see what we got. Oh, why is it saying my chat is not available? That is no good. Hold on, folks. Hold on while I make sure to take. This is crazy. This usually does not happen. But I shall take care of this momentarily. There we go. There we go. All right. So, oh, shout out to my man LT Giles. I didn't realize you were in here. Jake Pliskin. I like that one. I like that one. Escape from New York was a very, very dope movie. Ty Fowler, what is going on? Jay Measy, shout out to you. Trying to make sure I get everybody so that they know that I'm not trying to play him. Cat, I hope you're still in here. I see that was a while ago that you were in here, but oh, I think Cat left. All right, sorry about that. All right. So we got questions. We got questions. Alicia, holler at me if you want to, get up on the OBS thing, you know. And also shout out to my man AU Pack Mule. AU Pack Mule, hooked me up with some gear. So I definitely gotta shout him out, All right, so questions. If you got any questions, put them in the chat right now. So all right, so Jose Pino asks, have you read the 5 books? I've not only read the 5 main A Song of Ice and Fire books, I've also read all 3 Dunk and Egg, as well as The Princess and the Queen, and also The Rogue Prince, and also The World of Ice and Fire. And speaking of The World of Ice and Fire, I would suggest that if you are new to my channel, go to the channel page after this is over and check out the interview that I did with Elio Garcia and Linda Antonsen about the World of Ice and Fire. Great interview, and actually there aren't many of those on YouTube. So, yeah, you want to do that. Alright, so from Southeast 01, who will get the rock? I think Tyrion's gonna wind up getting the rock. Yeah, I mean, who else is it gonna go to? I think Jaime and Cersei are gonna be dead by the time this is all over, and Tyrion is gonna wind up getting it. So yeah. All right, let's see here from Lisa Kingston. How would you see the story going down if Tywin would have left? No, Tyrion would have left and Tywin didn't die. Woo! Okay, so if if Tywin didn't die, war goes to Essos. Because I think that if Tywin doesn't die, let's say he's, he's incapacitated for a while, he's not dead, but he's capable of still saying, look, Tyrion shot me, fuck that, find him wherever the hell he is. War is going to Essos. If he would have figured out that Tyrion might be going to help Daenerys Targaryen, he's like, now I'm going to kill Daenerys Targaryen. Daenerys has to die, and Tyrion must die with her. I think that's what would have happened if Tywin did not die. Oh, man. Let's see here. Okay, from Jake Pliskin. How would Tywin bring House Putin into the fold if he was president? Alright, so you gotta figure the North is pretty cold. How would he bring him in? He would probably say, alright, look, you're up north, super cold. I know you want some more fertile land. I already got my deal with the Reach. But how about this? The Riverlands, nobody likes Walder Frey. Everybody wants to kill him anyway. We'll align you with some people to go take over House Frey, and then once that's already done, we'll give you the Riverlands. Nice, fertile land, all the fish you want. It's a win-win. All right, so for Cardinal Doomsday, let's see here. Oh, nah. All right, oh, I thought you had a question, Cardinal. Sorry about that one. All right, so from Jose, do you think Cersei's violent card is Jaime or Tyrion? I definitely think it is Jaime because that is not who she is suspect. I mean, yeah, that's not who she is suspecting or expecting whatsoever. And how I think that the whole thing is gonna go down is Cersei's gonna wind up doing something super crazy to the point where Jaime is like, "I'm going to fucking kill her." Uh, she winds up stabbing him, and he winds up choking her to death. And as he finishes choking her to death, he dies. There we go. All right. Let's see here. All right. So for Way Off Topic Radio, you think Tywin knew Shay before Tyrion met her? Um, I doubt it. He may have known of her, but I don't think he actually knew who she was before then. That's a very good question though, and unfortunately we'll never find out. But I think he probably knew of her, but I don't think he actually knew her before. Yeah, before that. All right, so from Todd Fowler, how do you feel about Dance of Dragons War? I watched the Histories and Lore video today, and my mind was blown by the ending. And so the whole Dance of the Dragons, the Targaryen Civil War. It is interesting to see, when it comes to the Targaryens, and then when you think about medieval history in general and infighting and stuff, um, when people want power, and when one person has been promised power, and then someone else comes and decides, no, the power is mine. Um, I mean, you see what kind of conflicts it can lead to, and then on top of that, you got dragons. I mean, they're up there threatening to kill, like I'll kill your kids, all this other crazy shit, all to sit on a metal chair, and to have people fawn over you and tell you how great you are. Um, and I sent out a tweet today, and I think this is apropos to the situation. That is, some people sacrifice their integrity for glory. Others never had it to begin with. So there you go with that one. All right. So from LT Giles, how epic do you think our after show review reaction will be this Sunday? I think it will be super epic because it's to watch. All right. Let's see here. All right. So from Cardinal Doomsday. Oh, sorry. Real quick before I get the card on Doomsday's question, Alicia Kingston asking who would they give the Riverlands to? Someone asked if Taiwan were president, what would he do to bring Vladimir Putin into the fold? And I said he would have him wage war on the Riverlands and then give it to him after he killed off the phrase. All right. So, do I think that the twins are Ares kids from Cardinal Doomsday? Yo, you know what? I honestly, the way that George is written this story is hard to tell because he's given Tyrion features that you would see in a kind of Targaryen bastard, but then also there's the Cersei and Jaime thing. Because remember, in the books, versus the show, Tyrion has like almost Targaryen colored hair with speckles of like black in it, and he's got like one green eye and one black eye. And then even though the Lannisters have like the regular yellow hair or golden hair, blonde hair, whatever you want to phrase it as. Cersei is, obsessed with Wildfire. She's becoming, kind of a mad queen to the point where, even Jamie on the low is starting to remind him of Ares or whatever. Um, so George is really kind of playing with us right now when it comes to that, you know. So yeah, that's a crazy, crazy shit. It could be his, but somehow I don't know, man. Like, because it doesn't talk about Jamie having any of those kind of Targaryen ish kind of like, yeah, it doesn't talk about Jamie having any of those Targaryen kind of features, right? So I mean, I think they're all Tywin's kids. You know, I think they're all Tywin's. All right, let's see here. So from Southeast 01, did you read the interview that Martin just gave a hint about John might be a white? I hadn't read the interview, but I watched Gray Areas video on it, so I'm gonna try to read that after I get done here. Pardon me for one sec. Time out. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, it's been a super hot day out here in New York, and I work out in the streets, and I was dehydrated as fuck all day. All right. From Cardinal Doomsday, would Tywin be a weak ruler if Joanna hadn't died? No, because remember the Reigns of Castamere, that whole situation happened before he even met Joanna. I don't think that him being married to Joanna weakened him at all. I think, he's the guy who he would have done whatever he had to do regardless. So no, I don't think it weakened him. All right, so from El Bay, let's see. On some level, did Tywin know what Jamie and Cersei were getting up to? I doubt it. I really do. I think he's too prideful to think that his kids, especially those two, like Tyrion, he could see Tyrion getting into all kinds of trouble. I don't think he could see those two getting into all kinds of trouble because those are the ones he's like, yo, these are my kids. I raised them. They are a reflection of me for the most part. So I don't think he could see that with those. Nah. That would never cross his mind. All right, so from Jake Pliskin, would Tywin stage another red wedding on the Tyrells after Cersei married into their family? Nah, because at the end of the day, like I think at that point, like remember, like a lot of the like real high ups know that Tywin was involved with the red wedding, so they would be looking for him to do something. And at that point, I think it was more like, what, Cersei, you getting on my damn nerves. He wanted to get Cersei out of there, but he wanted to, find some way to still be able to control the whole situation with the Tyrells. So now he would have kept them around as long as they didn't get too out of hand. All right, let's see here. So from Todd Fowler, have you seen the Doom of Valeria animated pilot on YouTube? I have not. I might have to check that out. Yeah, I might have to check that out. Hold on. Let's see here. Hold on. Is this the real Alicia Kingston? Because somebody hit me up last time asking me to mod them up, and next thing I know, found out it was a freaking troll. Somebody, yeah, somebody in one of my live chats before. See, this saying is an error. Please, yeah, nah, man. What the hell? Okay, that's the real one. All right. How are you not a mod already? All right. Let's see here. All right. So from Chris Solis, do you think he's? Let's see. You think he was 100% that Tyrion was not going to shoot? Do you think he was trying to? Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking he was probably like, "Come on, man. You're not a warrior. You know, you're not a gangster like that. You don't go around just murdering people. That's what I do." So I don't think he. I think because the fact that he was the guy who went and slaughtered, two great houses and got Rob Stark bumped off. I think he was thinking like, "Yo, man, listen, nobody is coming and fucking with me. It's not happening." Hold on. See, all right. So the question I have to ask though is this like the real thing? I don't know. I'm gonna save it for later, and I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll check it out later or whatever. You know. Um, Yo, and shout out to the eunuch who came through just to give me a thumbs down. Uh, before this chat even started. Hope somebody comes and blows up your sept. Oh man. All right, all right, all right. Machiavelli Lannister. All right. M Hayes like Tywin thought he was Denzel on Training Day. He ain't gonna shoot shit. Oh man. Okay, so another question from Chris Solis. If he was so into the family name, how come he didn't share in saving King's Landing? Uh, glory to. Oh, okay. Well, all right. So, like, how come he didn't share the saving the King's Landing glory to Tyrion? Um. Okay. So here's the thing, right? He doesn't like Tyrion. He the fact that Tyrion is around, all right. So people, right? So I'll give you an analogy. Floyd Mayweather is going to fight Conor McGregor pretty soon. Floyd Mayweather is currently 49-0 in his professional fight career. Floyd Mayweather would like to probably go out after this 50th fight and be done with it on top, no questions, hands down. He wants to be known as the greatest fighter ever, whatever may have you. If he gets beat by Conor McGregor, that is the one blemish on his perfect record that he will have to live with for the rest of his life. Because not only did he not beat Rocky Marciano's streak, he lost to a guy who's not a traditional boxer. So forever and ever, the same way that would be a blemish on his record, Tyrion is a blemish on Tyrion's record that he's been trying to live down and get rid of for a long time, and since he can't, he's gonna make Tyrion pay for the fact that that's the blemish on his record. All right, so from AU Pack Mule, did Tywin help in Joffrey's death? I don't think that he helped in Joffrey's death, but I don't think he was upset about it because he knew that Joffrey he knew that once Joffrey got old enough, with the way that he was going, Joffrey was going to be too hard to control. So I think for him, it was kind of like, oh, Man, thank the guys. That kid's out of here. I got Tommen now. I can shape and mold Tommen. Tommen is not gonna be no fuck boy like Joffrey was. But the problem is though that Tommen is a bitch. Now look, show Tommen and book Tommen obviously are different, right? So it's not gonna be one of those things where book Tommen was a kid. He's like 8 years old, so you really can't do much with him. But I think under Tywin's tutelage, which is the thing I think he was hoping for, he will be able to, or he would have been able to mold a strong ruler who would have gotten respect from all the people and still would have, done the family proud. People still probably would have liked Tommen because he wasn't a dick. And yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, well, cool. That's what's up. So I could definitely see, like, you could see that even though he didn't actually kill Joffrey, it's like, all right, cool. He's done for. He's out of here. We're good. All right. So another one from Chris Solis. Don't know if anyone asked this already, but you think GOT actor played Tyrone perfect, or he missed something, added something? So Charles Dance, I think, did an excellent job as Tywin Lannister. He may not. They didn't give him the Tywin Lannister look, but I don't care. I mean, like, I think that, when you read Tywin Lannister on the page and you think of this commanding presence and somebody who's is just not to be fucked with, Charles Dance gives you that feeling. Come on, look at the avatar sitting next to me. Look at that and tell me that that's you know like that's the face of somebody that you're gonna sit there and not be intimidated by if he's coming through armored up on his horse, with the helmet on, and he's got 10,000 soldiers behind him. And I think that Charles Dance brought the gravitas to the role that was needed. You know, yeah, man. Oh, shout out to Cardinal Doomsday. You know, I'm actually about to call this a wrap in another few minutes myself. Yeah, not catching me like y'all did last time, where everybody shows up. Like, oh, we just came from another stream. You mind waiting for another half an hour? No, I got shit to do. You should have been here, okay? You know, this is the place where you should be. But trust me, because yeah, look, you know, I know I'm the Salt King, and if you guys don't know, then you need to learn about that. But I'm gonna save the salt for when it's really really needed. Oh, wait until I bring out the chest of many salts. The blue, the black, the red, the yellow, all kinds of salt. And for the people who know what I'm talking about, you already know what it is. Oh, I'm going to spread that salt, all around the realms, all around the realms. All right, so look, yeah. Um, all right, so another one from Chris Solis. Chris got questions beyond questions beyond questions. Ion, I'm surprised no questions from Ion. Peach, if you got any questions, throw them up there. Got a couple more minutes before I call this a wrap. Let's see. From the books, who would you follow into a war, Tywin or Stannis? That is an absolutely great question. Wow, that is an amazing question. Tywin or Stannis, who would you follow in the war? Now, you have two very, very, you know, very great battle commanders. Very great battle commanders. So Tywin or Stannis, who would I follow in the war? Um, all right, so man, Brendan Parker is saying Stannis. See, here's the thing, right? Tywin has the rep of going in, smacking them everybody, taking over everything. Stannis is the dude that's like, all right, I beat you, bend the knee, we're all good. And it really depends on what your philosophy is when you're talking about war. So and then also it's like, what are we going to war for? Right? Because if it's about taking over, if it's about taking over some land just to do it, just the annexation of the Shield Isles, or we're annexing the Summer Isles or whatever, I'd have to go with Stannis, because I don't think that he would just be like, all right, we're slaughtering the native inhabitants and all that stuff. Um uh you know, I don't think he would slaughter the native inhabitants. I think Tywin would go in and be like, all right, fuck it, we're taking over, and since Westeros doesn't do slavery, we got to kill everybody here. Um, man, shout out to Meridian Mormont, and also F. Al Dhabi, and also my man Lord of Last Hearth, Thomas Hayes. What's going on? What's going on? Um, let's see. Oh man. So LT wants to know, why am I so salty? But you know what? When you build, when you go out there, and really try to build something of substance, and you do it with integrity, and you do it, try to be hmm, try to be original about it, you know, and you see people out there who are not so original, those out there who are trying to leech off of others in order to gain so-called glory, makes you a little salty when they disrespect the game. You know, you must have, look, whenever you're gonna jump into a community, whenever you're gonna try to ingratiate yourself with people, you know, and there's certain rules that you guys have all kind of agreed upon, you know, you gotta respect the game, respect how things are played, because once you start disrespecting, hey, listen, things happen. Things happen. Oh man, all right, all right. All right. So from Ion Throne, top 100 favorite types of salt. I don't know if I can give I don't know if I can give types 100. I don't know if I can give 100, but I can give you probably 10. I can probably give you 10. So you got to go with truffle. Truffle salt is awesome. Himalayan rock salt, Hawaiian red, Hawaiian black, Indian blue. Let's see here, kosher, regular, regular kosher salt. Shout out to Meridian Mormon. Thank you, thank you. I love all you guys. What was that? 6 so far. Larry seasoned salt. Larry's seasoned salt. Because who doesn't love Larry's? Let's see here. I know people are gonna be watching this like, the fuck just happened, man? He was talking some Tywin shit, and then he all of a sudden starts talking about salt. Listen, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you guys are unaware of that I'm gonna keep under wraps unless someone really gets out of line. Then I'm gonna be forced to do nothing but spread salt all over. Yeah, man. Okay, so garlic salt, number 7. Man, you know what? I can't think. Listen, shit. Number. You know what? Unfortunately, I can't think of the last 3. So. Oh man! All right. Oh man! Oh wow! So this is a great question from Chris Solis. How about Tywin disrespect you? Let's see. How do you handle how you handle that house? Man. Listen. Oh yeah, listen, you make sure to poison his table salt. I'm pretty sure it's that. Look at Tywin's face. Look at Tywin's face, right? You know that man has a lot of salt. You have to poison that man's salt. Oh man, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, you know what? Look, I'm having a little fun. Look. I'll rock with y'all for 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, all right? And then after that, I really gotta go. Any more crazy comments or any questions or anything? And you know what? I also want to give a shout out to the person who. So if you got any, did Tywin? Because in fact they put like 5 names in there, and I was like, okay, like 5 names up in there. And then the next thing I know, like he was like, "Oh, but if you can't do all of them, can you do Tywin?" So, let's see here. Where the hell to go? You know what? I'm getting a lot more comments than I usually get. So I'm now when I try going back and looking for certain comments, it's like, well, where the hell are they? Oh, in fact, he's here tonight. F. Aldabi said Carl Tanner, Eddard Stark, Shay. But if it can only be one, then Tywin Lannister. So, shout out to F. Aldabi for suggesting Tywin Lannister. Holy shit. Holy shit. Sweet YFT. All the way from France. Shout out to my girl Anne. Alright, Chris with the questions. Oh, shout out to Sammy Soul. Alright, so another one from Chris Solis. So you agree with the theory that Tywin was dying anyway? Poison. Yeah, because I don't think you get that kind of like rotted gut like they had at his funeral without him being poisoned. So he was dying anyway, most likely poisoned by Oberyn, but Oberyn, being hot-headed Dornish man that he is, got his ass killed. What can you say? All right, from Sammy Soul, let's see, who would best to Tywin Lannister, or, and I think he's talking about Frank Underwood from House of Cards. Yo, that is because I love House of Cards. House of Cards is awesome. If you guys are not up on House of Cards, you are definitely missing out on an epic series. Man, if you're talking about who would outmaneuver who politically, I would have to give it to Frank Underwood, because I think Frank Underwood takes it just that extra step. Like, Frank Underwood is not adverse to putting his hands on you and doing the dirty work himself. And I'm not saying that Tywin is obviously a military commander, but there's a difference between somebody who's like, all right, I signed up for the army, I'm fighting because I'm a soldier, versus somebody who's like, listen, everything is war, and anyone is an enemy at any time, and if you get in my way when I'm trying to, like, himself, bare hands. All right, so from Thomas Hayes, you're gonna die. So I'd have to give it to Frank Underwood, because if Tywin would have gotten his way, I think he might have. How would you rate Tywin on a scale from 1 to 10 in terms of evilness, or whatever you want to call it? That is a good question. Man, you're... Shout out to Icy Spots while I think of the answer to this question. I mean, you know what? For what he did to Tyrion, I gotta put him on 10. Gotta put him on 10. He was willing to, either execute him or send him to the wall, knowing that Tyrion didn't kill Joffrey. Uh, and also for what he did with the whole Tysha situation. You gotta put him at 10. You gotta put him at a 10 for evil. Uh, okay, so wait a I missed a question from Ion. Oh shit. Oh man. Yeah, sorry about that, Ion. Let's see. If Tywin was given proof of the White Walkers, how would he handle it? See, here's the thing, right? Tywin, unfortunately, I think would handle that very badly. I Oh, see you later, Thomas. No, thanks for the questions. Um, Look, unfortunately, with the White Walkers being a real thing, and someone like Tywin probably being one of those people who did not believe in the White Walkers existing, uh, to find out that they're real, I think he wouldn't know how to fully handle it. You know, yeah, he'd talk about, yeah, we need army or whatever. But I think that in terms of, like, I think he would, try his best to build up defenses, uh, and he would he go down swinging? see, okay, depending on like the level of devastation that the White Walkers caused, honestly speaking, I think on the low, deep down, I think Tywin probably would have. I think Tywin probably would have been, at the end of it, if it's just like him and a few guards inside of Casterly Rock, I think he might have made a good show of it. But at the end of it, I think Tywin is probably going to wind up bitching up, and because it's like, yeah, Tywin is a tough guy, but I don't think he's that tough. And we miss you too. So you already know where I'm at. Holla at me, man. All right. All right. So look, I have went over the time that I said that I was going to. Um, but I will answer. I know there's a couple of questions that I missed. I will try to answer those real quick, and then I am out. Uh, Way off topic radio Q&A salt and pepper song. Uh, I mean, if you're asking if I've written the salt and pepper song, I have not. Okay, hold on. Here's one. All right. Well, Tywin's mockery job, giving Tyrion the responsibility of all the drains, be downfall. Yeah, that will be a downfall of Casterly Rock. At least that's what it's looking like in a TV show. I don't know if it'll work that way in the books, but I wouldn't be surprised. That makes sense if it does work out that way in the books too. From Alicia Kingston, if you put Tywin in an epic rap battle, who would you put against him? Epic rap battle, Tywin Lannister versus Napoleon Bonaparte. Tywin Lannister versus Napoleon Bonaparte. Epic rap battles of history. Yeah, I think that's that one. That's what it would be right there. Oh man. Oh wow. All right. Have a good night, Chris Sullis. Yeah. Wow. 3 a.m. in Italy. In Italia. Ciao bella. I gotta get back on my Rosetta Stone, man. You don't know. I was studying a few languages. I need to get my polyglot game up for this. You know, next few years I'm trying to do some heavy traveling. Anyway, all right. So you know what? I'm gonna wrap this up because I do have things that I need to attend to. You know, and no, Todd, Cat. Well, yes, Catelyn might be a better parent than Tywin, but still, fuck Catelyn anyway. Just because. Oh man, oh man. Yeah. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna bring this one to a close. I'd like to thank everyone who checked me out live, and also thank you to everyone who will be checking me out later. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to be bringing back the series. Will it happen in the books? I didn't finish off episode 10 because nobody was fucking watching those last year, but fuck that. I'm doing it, god damn it. So season 6 episode 10 of Will It Happen in the Books will be up sometime in the coming few days, and then I will be doing those on Wednesdays after the show. Make sure of this year to check out uh the after show on the Hype Swatch channel. We're moving them around every year, so this week is actually, this year it's on the Hype Swatch channel, so check us out right after the show. Make sure to subscribe to the Hype Swatch channel, and shout out to any new subscribers who have been checking me out recently. I'm almost at 2,500. Shout out to DJ11 who came right on time just to, right before I was about to get out of here, which is hilarious, man. Thank you to Meridian Mormont, all the way from South Africa. I do not know any South African languages, so I don't know any standard greetings in that, but I'll find out something and I will have one lined up, for one of the next ones. Of course, I'll be back next Thursday for another one of these. Lord of Last Hearth, I am going to be getting back to the battle videos, yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk. So I got a lot of things planned. I'll be honest with you, I was kind of procrastinating because trying to get this whole streaming thing working correctly was really pissing me off. That like it was kind of fucking up, but hopefully everything worked out okay today. And yeah, because I don't want to have to go and scream on the dude from Staples and sold me all this shit. Yeah, man. But listen, I love you guys. Look, you guys already know the deal. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, come back for more. That has been my time, and this is Don Willie saying Vala Dohiris.